أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله لنريه من آياتنا إنه هو السميع البصير صدق الله المولان العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الأمين الكريم ونحن على ذلك لمن الشاهدين والشاكرين. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, He who is exalted and glorious took away his servant from Masjid al-Haram to Masjid al-Aqsa. This is the incident about Laylatul Mi'raj, Laylatul Isra wal Mi'raj. This night where Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was traveled from Masjid al-Haram to Masjid al-Aqsa, and from Masjid al-Aqsa to the heavens, and Qada Qawsayni aw adna. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing the journey of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And this journey is divided into two phases. First phase is from Masjid al-Haram to Masjid al-Aqsa. That's called Isra. And the second phase is from Masjid al-Aqsa to the heavens. That is al-Mi'raj. So when you combine them together, it's called Laylatul Isra wal Mi'raj. So the description of Isra is in Surah Bani Israel, and the description for Mi'raj is in a detailed hadith in Sahih al-Bukhari. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam traveled from Mecca, from Masjid al-Haram. Actually, he was sleeping when Jibreel alayhi salam came to him to give him this news that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking you to travel from this world to the heavens. And he was at his cousin's house, Hani radiallahu anha, where Rasulullah is describing that the roof of the house was open, and Jibreel alayhi salam took him to Masjid al-Haram, and at Hatim, his chest was open there, and with Zamzam, his chest was washed with wisdom and faith, and then it was closed. And after that, a beast which is known as al-Burraq, and Burraq it's a word comes from Barq, which means lightning. It means that beast, which is smaller than donkey and bigger than a mule, that beast took Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam from Masjid al-Haram to Masjid al-Aqsa with the speed of light. Actually, the distance at that time was 1 month. 1 month distance. Like to travel from Masjid al-Haram to Masjid al-Aqsa, it takes 1 month to travel at that time. But he traveled in just a single night. And from there, he was taken to the heavens. And on every heaven, he met prophets from Adam alayhi salam, Idris alayhi salam, Yusuf, Musa alayhi salam, Isa alayhi salam. And at the last heaven, he met Ibrahim alayhi salam, who was leaning to a house which is known as Baytul Ma'mur. Baytul Ma'mur is the Kaaba of the heavens. Because he constructed the Kaaba in this dunya, Allah gave him that Kaaba in heavens. That's called Baytul Ma'mur. And he was sitting on a golden throne with his people. And all this incident is recorded in Sahih al-Bukhari. And then after meeting the prophets, he saw paradise and hell. And there he saw some torment, some adab that were really painful. That was an example that was shown to describe the adabs of this ummah, where I would like to discuss 2 or 3 adabs so that we get steadfast to our religion. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saw some people whose heads were shattered. And then they were coming back to their original state again. And they were shattered again immediately, without any delay. Rasulullah asked, O Jibreel, because Jibreel was his guide, he was tour guide. So Rasulullah asked, O Jibreel, who are these people whose heads are being shattered? Jibril said, Ya Rasulullah, these are the people of your ummah, your community, whose heads were very heavy to raise up from the pillow for the prescribed prayers. That is why their heads were shattered. And then Rasulullah saw some more people who was swimming in the blood. Swimming in blood, and rocks were thrown out on them, and they were swallowing those rocks. Rasulullah asked, Ya Jibreel, who are these people? Jibreel said, these are the people of your ummah who used to eat usury, interest, riba, soot. And there is one more hadith in Ibn Majah. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu narrated that when Rasulullah went to the Mi'raj, he saw people whose bellies were like houses, as big as a house. And there were snakes in those bellies. And those can be seen outside their bellies. It was appeared outside their bellies. So big like a house, their bellies. And snakes were poured into those bellies. Rasulullah asked, Ya Jibreel, who are these people? He said, these are the people of your ummah who used to eat usury, who used to eat riba, who used to consume sood. And then Rasulullah also saw people who were eating thistles and fruits which were shaped like a head of devils. They were eating thistles, thorns, those fruits. Rasulullah asked, Ya Jibreel, who are these people? He said, these are the people of your ummah who never gave charity, who never donated in the path of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, although Allah have given them everything. And then Rasulullah saw some more people, and this is something which is common, this sin, which is something very common in our community, but we ignore this thing. Rasulullah saw people whose tongues and lips were sliced with metal knives. Metal knives, and their lips and tongues were sliced. Rasulullah asked, Ya Jibreel, who are these people? Jibreel said, these are the scholars and speakers of your community who used to preach people, but they themselves would never practice those things. They were those speakers, those people who speak, who preach people, that do so and so, but they never practice those things. And Allah Subhanahu wa Taala said, "Lima taquluna ma la taf'alun." Why do you say something which you do never practice? So these were some things that Rasulullah saw, the torments in hell. And then when he was returning, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala gifted him 3 things. And it is reported in Sahih Muslim that Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu said that Rasulullah was given 3 things when he was returning from this journey. First is the 5 daily prayers, which was initially 50 prayers, but because of the recommendation of Musa alayhi salam, Rasulullah went back and forth, and it was reduced to 50. Although Allah said that, however, if the prayers are 5, but the reward for those prayers will be 50. So these 3 things. One is 5 daily prayers. Second was that the last 2 ayats of Surah Al-Baqarah, Amana Rasulu bima unzila. And the third thing was a good news that your ummah will be forgiven if a person never committed a shirk, he will be forgiven. These were the 3 gifts that Rasulullah got in the Laylatul Mi'raj, Laylatul Isra wal Mi'raj. When he came back in Ka'batullah, next morning he announced that I went to Masjid al-Haram, Masjid al-Aqsa, and then heavens. People mocked him. The kuffar, Abu Jahl, he disbelieved and mocked him. And when Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu, he knew that Rasulullah is saying so and so, he's claiming this and this. The answer of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu was amazing. He said, Ya Abu Jahl, this is a very small thing to believe. This is a very small thing to believe. We are believing much bigger things than this. He said, what? He said that he said that I am getting a revelation from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala from the heavens, and he recite those Quranic ayahs to us. That is a much more bigger thing. This is a very small thing to believe. When Rasulullah knew this thing, Rasulullah said, indeed Abu Bakr is a Siddiq. He is a truthful who never lies. So, my dear brothers, the message of Mi'raj is the Salaah is a gift from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala that we are unfortunately ignoring and taking for granted. Let us, inshallah ta'ala, be steadfast and pray and establish the prayer.
Ameen.
وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ.